if I'm hearing correctly, you've shifted mostly to, you talked about early on doing the company creation. Now it sounds like you're doing predominantly that, if not exclusively the company creation. But talk a little bit about how that comes together, because I know you offer also the science to startup. I want you to talk a little bit about the unique tranching, where you essentially, rather than have like a seed fund or have it seeded elsewhere, you can use the first tranche as a seed. So maybe just describe a little bit about kind of the strategy to find those investments.
Yeah, I mean, in any given fund, there's roughly 20 deals, and probably 15 of them are venture deals we help create here in our office, right? We have, at any given time, 6 to 8 companies here, probably 40 entrepreneurs working with us on this floor. If they need lab space nearby, Lab Central and other sort of innovation hotels are right nearby here in Cambridge. Leveraging the global CRO universe to help push the early projects forward. About a third of those seeds are based on academic work. In cases where you can sort of reproduce, replicate, generalize those academic findings, we will try to do that in the seed round. As you said, we'll put in just $1 million or some number to do a set of experiments, and sometimes those work, sometimes those don't. The other third are, when what I would call a sort of an industry entrepreneur, somebody who's been in biotech for a while, comes and says, "Hey, I'd like to work with you on a new idea," or "We have an idea," and we bring an entrepreneur, but they're not derived from academia. They're sort of derived from.
Is this the Michael Gilman phenomenon where
Exactly. When Mike was with us, in Padlock, for instance, and things like that. Though Padlock did have some academic roots as well. But Chimera is a good example, actually. Nello and I, on my whiteboard, were talking about how could we take TPD in an interesting way. And the remaining third are where we find assets that are in existence in some other company, and we can spin them out and create new companies around them, which we've always done. Actually, Gilman with Strometics back in the 20 years ago was that where we got an antibody from Biogen in the fibrosis space. And so that sort of mix shifts in any given vintage, but it's generally a third, a third, a third across those. And 2/3, 3/4 of the companies do incubate here. We will invest in what we jokingly call OPDs, which are other people's deals.
Cool. Yeah.
So call it 5 out of the 20 will be in other people's deals, or deals
I presume,
already
are
come together.
opportunistic. The value's right. You feel
Exactly. Somebody may reach out to us in Europe and say, "Hey, we'd like a US partner to help us pull this company, to the US." We've done a number of those kinds of deals. There's a whole variety of reasons why, we might be good partners for somebody on one of those kinds of deals.
Yeah.